Worry not, denizens of Lumbridge. I, the monotone madness, am here to protect you. Oh shit, oh my god. I didn't mean to attack you. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? Die, peasant. Alright, so it looked like you guys liked the Runescape video. Like I said in the last episode, I'm not reading any comments because I want to operate in this game the same I do as in real life. Blind, clueless, and devilishly handsome. But luckily we have a metric that's more important than your guys' thoughts and critique, and that's views and ad revenue. Well, I like playing it, and I also have nothing better to do, so it's a pretty mutually beneficial relationship all around, I'd say. First though, we have some managerial-like business to take care of, so I'm going to ask you to take a seat right over there. You know how in MMOs you always kind of have this soft spot for your first character? It's the start of a journey, not only for your avatar, but for you as well. It's the beginning of what is, for some, multiple decades of adventures and memories that are more valuable than any item that you could possibly obtain in the game. And I got to share my first steps, being chased off by the Baldies, my failure in elementary grade puzzle solving, and my befuddlement of dealing 1 effing damage despite increasing a skill called attack level to 20 and equipping multiple weapon upgrades. As challenged as I and my character is, he's already earned a special place in my heart. And I regret to inform you that I've Thanos snapped him out of existence like the worthless bitch he is. And the reason for that is, as I've been informed by my friend, that for the first time in my life, I've made a mistake. Apparently, Ironman mode in the world of RuneScape is different than in World of Warcraft. And for the former, it just means that you can't trade with anyone else or use the auction house, meaning that you also can't use the WoW token. I told you so, by the way. So I figured that if this is going to be a series, and if I'm going to be doing it with no guides, and if it's going to be long, it may as well be hard. So I'm going to call that first video the prelude, or episode 0, and this will be the true beginnings, episode 1. In fact, we're not even stopping there. Because we are hardcore in real life, we will also be a hardcore Ironman, which has the same restrictions aside from only having 1 life. Yeah, go ahead and let that jaw drop to the floor. But before you get too excited, if you die as a hardcore Ironman, it's not over. You just get downgraded to a softcore Ironman. So I figured that I may as well give it an attempt. There's really nothing to lose. And on the very small chance that I do die, this series will continue as just a normal Ironman. So it kind of sucks to start over, but I figure that it's not too bad as it is the very start of the game. I think if I don't do this now, I'll regret it later on down the line. I understand that this may upset some of you, and I just wanted you to know that the best place to air these frustrations is in the comments. Because I'm not reading that shit. Oh god. So let's take this opportunity to officially set the rules. It's basically the same as in episode 0. I know next to nothing about RuneScape, and I plan to keep it that way, so I will be building a wall around myself. This may result in me getting stuck, but considering I grinded rank 14 in the recreation of a 15-year-old video game, I think I've earned the right to say that I'm persistent, or that I have absolutely 0 life. The only exception is that I do have a friend acting as a middleman. He'll be reading me non-spoiler related comments that you guys make, like my mistake with Ironman, for instance. And as an extension to all of this, I've also turned off all in-game chat to avoid any form of social interaction. I mean, spoilers. And for 2, there's just 1 win condition. I will complete the game. And for me, that means that I will attempt to complete every single quest within this quest log. So that's about it. I do want to do some backtracking. In episode 0, since I didn't know if this was going to be a series or not, I kind of skipped and sped through some of the other quests. Unfortunately, I am missing footage for some, so I'll have to recreate those with my Ironman character, so excuse any inconsistencies because we'll kind of switch between characters here for a bit for the first couple of episodes. But it shouldn't be too bad. I'll let you know when my Ironman has surpassed my first character. So I'm out looking for quests, and I run into this guy who asks me to enlighten you guys on the premier learning platform for backend web development, Boot.dev. Boot.dev is a platform for anyone looking to master backend web development, and it's designed to keep you engaged by taking cues from game design. You'll find courses that teach you backend web development using Python and Go, right from the basics to more advanced concepts. The lessons are designed such that you're not just passively learning, but you're actually coding, which is the best way to learn. And the reason why I keep working with them is that their mission is to make coding as engaging as possible by making it very RPG-like, which I think will resonate really well with a lot of you. It has levels to complete and achievements to unlock, and because it's also self-paced, you can learn at your own speed. If you get into trouble, they have both an AI to help as well as an active Discord community to guide you through whatever concept you're struggling with. And they also offer a 30-day no questions asked refund policy, as well as a free demo for every course. So if it interests you, you can also try it risk-free. Click the link in the description and use my code to get 25% off your first payment, which is 25% off either your first month or your first year, depending on which plan you choose. So as my primitive monkey brain becomes strained attempting to figure out this cipher, I dispose of what little pride I have remaining and look for another quest. A lot of them I don't even have the requirements for, but I do find some luck within the castle kitchen in Lumbridge with the cook's assistant quest. It's the Duke's birthday, and there's a problem. The chef needs help baking a cake, and he tasks you to find him the ingredients. Okay, as long as you don't give me a goddamn cipher to solve to figure out where to buy them. He needs eggs, flour, and milk. All pretty common items and easy to find, it seems. Aside from the milk, I guess, because my dad went to get some 20 years ago and he hasn't come back yet, so that might provide a challenge. But he is kind enough to give instructions. The flour you can get from the northwest at a mill. The milk you get from eggs in a farm across the river. So I go across the river and I go through a gate that requires a toll. Fucker didn't mention that, did he? He didn't mention the toll you had to pay. Oh, wait a second. Music changed. Okay, hang on. Let's investigate this area more first. I have a feeling this is a Dark Souls situation where you can either go to the Undead Burg or the skeletons that'll F you up.
Ah! My fucking menu wouldn't close. Oh. Okay. That's great.
Talking to Gilly, she says that you need to use a bucket on a dairy cow in order to get the milk. You can get milk from the cows with just one teat, but it takes way longer and you only get a few squirts, so I definitely recommend sticking to the ones with 4. So I get the milk, I get an egg, I get some flour. It's still tutorial territory, essentially, and teaching you how containers work and how to use items to interact with the environment, but it's all pretty simple, honestly, and there's not much to say. Really, the toughest thing is just the traveling. It's a huge limiting factor, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Well, I mean, I kinda do because I'm impatient, but I also don't. In other games, like World of Warcraft, for example, movement is a pretty important part of character progression. As you play, you unlock more flight paths, so you don't have to walk on foot. At 40, you can get a mount. At 60, you get a faster mount. 70, a flying mount. Or maybe you're playing a mage who can learn teleport spells as they level, and so on. When most people think of character progression, they think of the fundamental stuff like leveling, gear, economy. But world negotiation is often overlooked and disregarded as not having a lot of nuance. And in Runescape, even with my limited experience, I can already tell how important it is. If you take a look at your magic spells, you'll see by leveling it, you can unlock teleports to other cities, and there are various shortcuts placed about which require a skill called agility. So I will definitely take time to level it up, because looking at my character walk slower than my grandparents have sex is starting to annoy me. In fact, if you're wondering why I don't have armor in this moment, I unequipped it as an experiment to see if it expends my stamina more slowly. Spoiler alert, it doesn't, at least from what I can tell, and you just kind of have to deal with it for now. But I digress. The reward is a quest point and some cooking XP. 1 down, 488 to go. The quest points are important, it seems. Later on, we run into a quest that requires a certain amount of quest points to even start, so it's not just a bragging rights sort of thing. And he has a follow-up quest where he reveals that he was lying this entire time, and the first quest was merely a test. So he's just a big fat phony.
A great big phony! That's right, a phony lives here! A big fat phony!
You know what? It does make me angry. Do you know how many one-teat cows I milked for you? It turns out he's the descendant of a great chef named Franisard van Lumcook. You know what I just realized? One of the things I like about this game? It has a charm that's very similar to The Secret of Monkey Island, which also happens to be one of the greatest games of all time, by the way. In that game, you didn't move as slow as pig shit. So he was the chef for the Lumbridge nobles, and he was good enough that he and all of his descendants were given jobs as chefs for the rest of eternity. But as it turns out, this guy sucks and he needs you to cook for him. But considering that the most advanced dish I've ever made were Hot Pockets, I would say that he's barking up the wrong tree. Yeah, see? Even the game knows it. So to continue this quest, I need to level what I assume is my cooking skill, to which I say, screw that, let's kill some goblins. I desperately try to avoid spending brain power to solve the cipher by looking for another quest. I found 2 others on the second floor, one that I also don't have the requirements for yet, and the other one is called Rune Mysteries, where I'm tasked with delivering a talisman to a mage named Cedrador in the tower west of Lumbridge. He says that it's no ordinary talisman, and that it's key to finding the lost essence mine. To cast spells in the game, you need these runes, and to craft them, you need this special essence, according to him. But the spell to teleport to the mines were lost in a battle with the evil god of chaos, Zamorak. Apparently, this talisman is key to regaining access to the mines, and considering that I don't want my character to walk as slow as molasses in the entire game, I do want to level my magic, so this seems like a pretty important quest. He sends me to a man named Aubrey within a city called Varek to deliver the talisman. This is the first big city in the game, and that's all well and good, but I'm ready for a little action. It's kind of weird. I've been playing an MMO and I'm getting all of these quests, and I've yet to get one where you just kill 10 goblins or something. There has to be something along those lines. So I hearth back to Lumbridge and I look for more quest icons. The first area I search is the church, which has a quest, but it warns me that I'm not ready for this smoke yet. My combat level is a little too low, so I grind some goblins for a while. Oh, I just love those sounds. It sounds like I'm beating a Furby. So at this point, I still haven't figured out the strength dynamic, so I'm still dealing 1 damage to everything. I checked the adventure path, which suggests to farm the barbarians in the northern village to level up. Alright, seems reasonable. Been killing these goblins for a while, so I feel like I'm ready for a little bit more challenge. There's no way that a tutorial aimed for beginners would send me to somewhere that I shouldn't go to get me killed. Oh my god! Oh, fucking bullcorn. So just so you guys don't have to do it, I decided to die intentionally to kind of show you how death works in this game. So when you die, you drop a selection of items on your corpse, which is pretty brutal if you died in an area with hostile enemies and you're now naked. I'm just going to chalk this down to an early MMO thing. Star Wars Galaxies actually had the same system, but it was way worse because the planets were absolutely huge and you could spawn an hour away from your corpse depending on where you died. So it's not as bad here because I spawned just a couple minutes away, and I also died to a neutral level 5 goblin, so we're good. In an act of revenge, I decide to slaughter an entire village of goblins, including the gob women and the gob children. I hate them! I do this for a while, in fact, and I also do that grinding spot I mentioned in episode 0 in the swamp. I eventually start dealing more than 1 damage, and we do that mention quest that we already went over. So now at this point, my combat level is buffed up, as is my ego and confidence. I return to the church where I'm told that a ghost has been haunting the graveyard of Lumbridge, and I'm asked to exorcise it in the Restless ghost quest. I'm told to seek the aid of a colleague who lives in the swamp. So luckily for me, because I've been grinding here, I know this area like the back of my penis. His name is Father Ernest, who lives in this small hut. He's not willing to exorcise the ghost himself, but he helps us by giving an amulet that lets us talk to spirits. So I hearth back to Lumbridge despite it being 20 steps away because I need instant gratification. And it turns out he's haunting the town because he was buried without his head and that a warlock who lives at the wizard tower took it. So we're off to the tower to get some head. Here, let me ask this NPC. Oh my god! Okay, I feel like that's a trap in this game where they have these friendly looking NPCs in friendly areas that you attack when you click on them. 4 damage? Are you joking? What the F? Okay, now that I've expended all of my heals, I go all around the watchtower. I see skulls all over the place, but I can't click on them, so I assume that these are the wrong ones. Eventually I check out the basement and I see that there's one on the altar, so that's probably it. Oh, are you kidding me? I just used all of my heals on that one wizard. Alright, you boner. Taste my wrath. Oh yeah, 4 damage, baby. Thirst for blood, bring it. Okay, good. Okay, beautiful gameplay. Yeah, face the Grand Marshal. Rank 14, bitch. Oh, I'm dying. On my way back to deliver the skull, I encounter a group of adventurers in search of the lost city of Xanarkand. Some of them are more pliable for information than the others, but they aren't too welcoming in competition. It says that there's a quest icon here, so clearly I'm missing something, but I feel like I exhausted every dialogue option, so either I'm dumb or this is something I have to unlock for later, or maybe it's a quest chain. I'm really not sure. But I return the head to the ghost, and he turns into the Tasmanian Devil, and that's another quest complete. As a reward, I get some prayer XP, and I get to keep the amulet, which lets me talk to spirits, which I assume is going to be critical throughout the game, so I bank it for now. And I'm feeling pretty untouchable at this point. I run into a farmer named Fred who needs help shearing his sheep, and it's at this point where I realize just how limited the bag space is in this game. You know what it reminds me of, you guys? It kind of reminds me of World of Warcraft, and I can't help but wonder if there's a way to get a bigger bag. This whole quest is another trudge because not only do you have to get the wool, but you also have to spin it, and the nearest loom is in the castle, so as simple as it is, it's a bit laborious. I feel like it's unfair that I had to sit and watch my character slowly crawl his way around Lumbridge, so I decided that I'm going to subject you to the same thing, and we'll just kind of talk about something random. I have been told that some of you have been asking for me to stream this, and I kind of like the idea, but I also kind of dislike it. And the reason for that is a large draw to this for me is that I get to experience it blind. Oh, good girl. Do you want attention? Okay, go away now. I'm sure that many of you can relate to enjoying a game or a movie or a TV show or really any form of media so much that you wish you could erase your memory of it and experience it with fresh eyes once more. There are a few games that come to mind for me with that sentiment, so I feel like I'm in a really unique position at this point, considering that this game is 2001, it's 23 years old, nearly 24, and this is my first time playing it. And I think if I were to stream it, people in a very innocent and helpful manner, mind you, would essentially spoil it for me by telling me how to do the quests and how systems work and do this and do that. And while I do appreciate the helpful intentions, I definitely want to preserve and discover all of this on my own, even if that means that I do 1 damage for the first 12 hours of gameplay. Anyways, as a reward, we rack up another quest point and some crafting XP and 60 coins. I seem to exhaust Lumbridge of quests at this point, so I take a look at my map and I see that there's some over at a nearby village called Draenor. Oh god, not this game too. Here I encounter a man named Morgan who says that the town is being terrorized by a vampire who lives in a nearby mansion. At night when they're sleeping, he sucks some of their blood, and he asks me to slay it in the Vampire Slayer quest. He tells me to seek the aid of his friend, Dr. Harlow, who can be found in the inn in Varrock, making 2 quests to take care of in that city. I wonder if there's a quest to direct a mainstream vampire slaying movie starring Selma Hayek, who plays a stripper who pours champagne down her leg for the protagonist to drink from her foot, and then to cast yourself as that protagonist. I wonder how many quest points that gives. I also encounter a pirate named Captain Tok, who says that his crew has suddenly become lazy, and he's determined that this is the doing of a curse. This is the Corsair Curse quest. He asks me to meet him at Rimington, which I'm vaguely suspicious is some sort of sexual invitation. So I of course sprint there as fast as I can, only to find out that it's just a boat trip to the other side of the continent, which is great, but I figure I still have a lot to do over here, so I retreat back and decide to just visit Varrock and do the vampire quest instead. Hey, do you know where I can find... Oh my fucking god! Ugh. Well, it's a good thing that guards don't really care if you murder people in their town. So the doctor tells me what everyone already knows about vampires. To kill them, you need a hammer from a general store and a wooden stake, which he provides, and also some garlic that you can find back at Morgan's house. Well, thanks for not telling me about the garlic, Morgan. Thanks for wasting my effing time. So I gather up the required items, I head to the mansion. Just outside there's a woman who says her fiance went inside hours ago to ask for directions and he's yet to return, so she asked me to go check things out in the Ernest the Chicken quest, making this a twofer. Ah, a dining room. So we got another Scooby-Doo mansion. Oh god, there are no enemies. This is going to be another puzzle, isn't it? Oh wait, there's a zombie here actually. And a rubber tube, that's probably important, and some poison. Ah, we have to give Dracula a poison enema. The door's locked, so I leave it for now, and I pick up the poison based solely on the goblin principle, as it's worth a whopping 685 gold. And I enter this room adjacent to another with seemingly no entrance, and this is where watching Scooby-Doo as a kid pays off. You know when the gang walks by an object that's very obviously highlighted compared to the rest of the background? That's your clue that that crap is going to move and there's going to be some doucher that's going to peek his head out. So I immediately investigate the highlighted bookcases to reveal a secret passage with a dungeon. Oh no, it's another puzzle, dude. Are you effing kidding me? So there are 6 levers in the room that open and close these certain gates, and on the other side of the final gate is an oil can, which I have no immediate use for, but again, I assume it's important, so I use each lever and I carefully study which gates they open, and through the process of elimination, I methodically... No, just kidding, I just randomly pulled them for about 20 minutes until I luck out. Alright, what do we have here? What the hell? Sergeant Damien? Sir, yes sir? Wait, what? Exercise mats? Someone please tell me what the F is going on. Okay, so I should explain something at this point. Every now and then, these NPCs will show up and offer you these optional bonus missions for rewards. One is a maze, another is a chest where you have to match the icons with the words. Another one, you hit these pinball pins, or some you simply answer a question or talk to them. And you also have this one where you're in some sort of demon boot camp and you have to follow the drill sergeant's instructions and perform the correct exercises. And I don't know this for sure, but it seems to me that this is some form of bot control because they're quite simple and almost impossible to fail. Except for the maze, I failed that one. And they just feel very CAPTCHA-esque. So I don't know if any of this is true, but if it is, it's actually amazing and a pretty creative way to control cheating in your game without breaking immersion or hassling the player in negative ways. You don't have to do them. If you just ignore them, they go away, and I'm not sure if there is a penalty for that because I talk to them every time, because you get some good rewards if you do participate, like potions and stuff. Maybe this is because I come from World of Warcraft, which seemingly has little to no anti-botting countermeasures because Blizzard is a small indie game dev, but I'm honestly stunned and kind of pissed off at the same time. Why the F doesn't Classic do something like this? Come on. This is some bullcrap. Anyways, I get a camo top for my troubles, which is just a cosmetic. See? It's right here. So I go down the stairs right next to me to find our original objective, the vampire. And I am bodying this kid. Like, it's pathetic. I guess grinding goblins for 20 hours pays off, huh? I'm twinked out of my mind right now. As a reward, we get 3 quest points and some attack XP, which puts me at 27. Outside, I find a grave, so I grab a nearby shovel to uncover a Draenor skull. Again, not sure if I need it, but it seems important, so I just go ahead and pick it up. And I also find a key from a nearby compost heap, and there's also this fountain with a pressure gauge in it, which once more I assume is important, but I can't interact with it because it's filled with aggressive piranha. Alright, whatever. Let's try this key on that door from earlier.
Stop it! Don't open that door!
Yeah, screw you, buddy. Go eat a Jill sandwich or something. The zombie is as equally trivial as the vampire. I pick up my anima supplies, and I check out the second floor, where I open a wardrobe to find a Blizzard fan waiting for Classic Plus. Ah, fish food. Let's take it to the fountain. Wait, what the F? They locked the front door. Now I need to go all the way around again. You know, this is really just the toughest part of the game. At least it's click to move, so I can at least do other things while my character figures out a route to his destination. Alright, feed the fish. Wait, it didn't work? I bet you have to poison the food first. Okay, well, maybe I should have thought of that. Go crawl back to the food. Crawl back to the entrance. Oh, you bastard. This better be important, that's all I'm gonna say. So we climb up to the 3rd floor to encounter a mad scientist who says that he's turned the missing fiancé into a chicken, and to change him back he needs all of the reagents that I already have because I'm a rank 14, world first 300 fishing, world first blood seal admiral, and the recreation of a 15-year-old video game god tier gamer. Bam. Game. Blouses. 400 quest points, 300 coins, and a little ego stroke for good measure. So at this point, I'm pretty confident in myself again. I'm dealing more than 1 damage, got a few quests under my belt, and there's no possible way that anything could go wrong. Right? Now if I can only find a way to figure out this effing cipher. Wait. What the F?
Farewell for now, mortals. We hope you enjoyed today's video. See you again soon.